So, should get a Facebook notification saying that we're going live.
I'm gonna go check it in the kitchen. I'll go check it later on.
There we go, Pistol, it's live. We're live, right, we're jamming. See this is stress marks if you're waiting in Pistol, man. Cheers, Mandy. Michelle, how you doing?
On the table there. Right, I'm here, mate, I'm here. Sorry, everybody.
Okay. Right, I'm just going to get a wee second, mate, to let the numbers fill up first before we start. So we've got 6 in now. Foxy's in, Michelle's in, Mandy's in. Oh, we're up to 10. Right, good. Eventually numbers are coming in. Guys, do us a favour.
Okay.
Callum, how you doing? Foxy, can you just double check the audio's okay? You can hear me, you can hear Pistol. Let me know, mate. Let us know if you can hear me and you can hear Pistol, and that way we know everything's okay.
Rachel.
Rens, this is a wee Men Matter podcast, mate. So we're just talking about the mental health charity, Men Matter Scotland. Peter's one of the founding members, so it's an event, mate. All good. You can hear Pistol and stuff, right? Perfect. 16, mate. The numbers are filling up. Right, Troops. Aye, I think you can hear you, mate. Asked him that.
Nice.
Good. Right, jamming. Troops, I'm not really fussed about the likes and shares and any of that kind of stuff tonight. Shares would be good because we're trying to raise money we're trying to raise awareness of the charity. So basically what we're doing here is Pistol's looking sexy. We've got a fan. What about Vital? I had my hair cut as well.
Is that done?
No.
Is that done?
No, it's not done. It's Simon. Right, okay, Troops. So basically what's happening here, right, I'm going to start off. There's enough numbers in that we can get started. Basically what's happening here is we're doing a wee podcast, myself, Peter. We're hoping that one of the boys, Daniel, can join us shortly. If not, you're stuck with us two for the night. We said roughly an hour, maybe about an hour, maybe a bit more. But basically what we're doing is we're just trying to raise awareness and tell people about Men Matter Scotland. Don says you're sexy, but basically what Men Matter do and what they're all about. So I'm going to introduce you to Peter Divers. Peter's the one when we're normally playing Warzone who's not got a clue what's happening, and he's just running about excited as fuck, right? So that's Pistol. So this is Pistol. I'm going to introduce him. Peter Divers, one of the founding members of Men Matter. Peter, tell us a wee bit about yourself and what you do at Men Matter.
My name's Peter Divers. I'm from Chapel, born and bred. I've known Paul a long time, man. I've been good mates for a long time. So I'm a youth worker. I'm a dad of 2. I'm married. I've been doing youth work for the best part of 20 years. I do a lot of volunteering. I like to help people who are struggling with things in life, and I'm a big believer that if we all look out for each other, just take a wee moment to look out for each other, our society can be a much better place. So I think just doing wee bits a day is enough to help people. I'm also a personal trainer, fitness instructor, dabble in a wee bit of photography, play a bit of football, just a wee bit of everything, man. And recently started getting into the Warzone, getting an all by a bit. It's been class.
Sorry, I was just smiling there because Mandy says she's away because you're buried. Aye, so me and Pistol have known each other, I would say the best part of, I was going to say, hold on, it's more than 20 years. It's more than 20 years, God, wow. Aye, so we've known each other a long time. We're trying to raise awareness of Men Matter and kind of some of the stuff that Men Matter do. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to host this wee podcast, just talk about Men Matter, talk about some of the things they've done. We're going to show a couple of short videos on stream as well. So there's a couple of short videos that are really, really good, and I want to share them with you because I think they're really beneficial. If we can get some of them on. Jamal, how you doing all the way for the US? We're going to talk about Men Matter, we're going to talk about the work they do, and we're going to follow this up with a streaming event which will be on the 6th of June between 12 and 4 PM. So basically what we're doing is this event is to raise awareness. We're going to talk a wee bit about the charity and the work they do. The second event is going to be the money raising one, right? This is where we're going to harass people and ask people, here's some money, here's some of the work that we do, if you can give us some money, it'd be great. Directly to the charity. I get nothing from it. I'm one of the board members at the charity. Peter asked us, me and a couple of the boys a while ago, to come on board and help out with some of our own kind of personal experiences from a professional side, if you like. I work in health and safety, so I try and bring a wee bit of that side to the hub and help out if I can. But aye, so the streaming event, we're going to pump the PayPal links and stuff. I have put both links into the chat description, so if you check the chat description, there'll be a link to Men Matter Facebook and there'll be a direct PayPal link. If anybody wants to donate anything at all, literally anything at all, the guys would appreciate it. And check out their Facebook page. They've got 8.5k followers just now, I think, on the Men Matter Scotland Facebook page.
Yeah.
And they're doing some really good work. We're hoping some of the guys can come on, as I said, like Daniel. Daniel's one of the guys that's been helped out with the hub, and Daniel's also was there. When was that done? Monday. I was doing on Monday, so I've had the week off this week. I jumped down on Monday and I helped out a wee bit during the day, doing some lateral flow tests, because the guys are all getting screened before they go into the hub to make sure everybody's safe, because it's such a vital service just now that we can't risk the hub being closed, because people struggle when the hub's closed. So Peter, tell us what the charity actually does for people in the community.
So, just to kind of simplify it, the charity gives guys a place to feel safe, to speak about the problems in their life, and to not feel judged about having problems. Both you and I are fair the drum mate, and we're brought up in a scheme where traditionally you're told to, if you're a man, you need to be tough, you need to be streetwise, you need to keep all this stuff, you need to deal with your problems yourself. And it's just simply not acceptable to have that kind of attitude anymore, because we're losing too many pals, brothers, uncles to suicide, simply, man. 3 out of every 4 suicides is a guy. And I think in something like 2019, there was like 700 odd deaths to suicide in Scotland. That's like 2 a day. You know what I mean? That's just not acceptable. And that's the extremes. There's other sides to it as well, where guys are just living with depression, anxiety, social isolation. There's so many worries and concerns out there, and nobody gets a chance to talk about it in general. And what Men Matter does, it gives you a platform to come and get that stuff off your chest. Because 100%, there's guys probably watching this and now going, oh, I've got stuff going on, but I'm too scared to talk about it. See, the second you share that information with somebody, it can be a one-to-one session or in a group setting, when everything you say is confidential, that weight that comes off your shoulder is unbelievable. I've experienced it for myself when I had my own issues, and I'm happy to talk about them, Paul, tonight if you want. I've never actually really shared my story, but I'm happy to tell wee bits of it, mate. Because again, I do believe in like everybody needs to tell their story for everybody around them to feel relaxed to tell their own story. You know what I mean? It's like a ripple effect.
Definitely.
So what it does is just, like, these guys are a safe space to socialise in a positive environment, right? Now I know that sounds pure jargony and pure pretentious, but that's what it is. See, so I'm a youth worker, right? See, when some of the young team are too old for G15 and they leave, they've got nowhere to go to socialise in a positive environment. So they go to the bookies, they go to the pub, they go to the parks and get blittered, whatever. At Men Matter Scotland, you've got a place where you can come and play snooker, darts, you can game, you can go to a gym, you can go for a shower, you can get new clays if you're needing new clays, you can get fed, you can sit and talk to guys with a cup of tea around a table. There's so many benefits to it. Honestly, I sometimes need to sit back and think how much has actually happened in such a short space of time, Paul.
Yeah.
And again, anybody who's came through the doors has said to us, I wish I'd done this ages ago.
Aye.
Or they're the best doors you've ever walked through in your life. You know what I mean? And this is for real guys who've had real problems. None of it's manufactured. And I know what I love about it, Paul. This isn't been created by NHS or any medical professionals. This has been created by 3 boys for the scheme.
Aye.
Because they've seen a need for it. And that's why I think it works.
Mandy, we'll get the PayPal link put up if it's not working. Don, see if you're still watching. Can you bung the PayPal link, please? There you go. PayPal link done. Don's already on the ball. Mate, do you know, one of the things that kind of blew me away is I went down on Monday, right, and I've obviously been kind of in the outskirts for the beginning where I seen you doing all the work, and then obviously when you asked me to come in and help out with some of the guys, I understand the kind of work they do and I understand the importance of what they do, but see actually hearing first hand, see being in the hub on Monday, I worked the full day with a guy, Scott, and I couldn't tell you his surname, right, but I was there with Big Scott. What a guy, honestly. Happy to talk about everything, tell me how low he was and how such a bad place he was, and the fact that he felt embarrassed to talk about it, the fact that he felt embarrassed at crying in front of other adults when he's talking about his problems, and he says that walking through the doors was just a sense of relief. He said at first he felt awkward telling his story, but the fact that other people had told their story made him say, do you know what, I can tell my story. And then he cried about it. He said he felt a wee bit embarrassed, and then further on other people are doing the same, and he said it felt like a weight, do you know what I mean? He said it's the best doors he's ever walked through, and seeing the difference for that guy talk about it, because I was spent the best part of 8 hours with him on Monday, and honestly we had a debrief at the end of the day, and the guys were talking about what kind of stuff you done throughout the day and what did you do for this and that, etc. And what I said is the best part of the day for me was spending the day with Scott, realising the benefit it's gave him, the sense of kind of purpose, if you like. And I noticed that for Bob as well. The wee guy Bob said, there's an old guy Willie as well, Willie and Bob, and the old guy Willie he said to me, he said, we're kind of chatting and I was saying, how did your day go? And he went, do you know what? He said, I've been asked down here, he said, and my only job to help out today was washing cups after people had cups of tea. He said, do you know what, but he said, it's the first time somebody's gives me a responsibility in years, and I love it. I've got something today, I've got a purpose, I'm here, I'm chatting to guys, I'm washing cups, I feel like I'm here for something, I'm wanted and I'm needed. And it was phenomenal, honestly. It made me quite emotional just talking to the guy, Willie, and listening to his story. It's unbelievable some of the work the guys do. So I think,
you know, Paul,
sorry, I was going to say, in terms of Men Matter, tell people a wee bit more about Men Matter. So in terms of a kind of question and answer format, we'll do a couple of question answers and then we'll jump into a wee more about chat. So when did Men Matter start and how did it start?
Right, okay, so I'll go back to the very start of Men Matter Scotland, right, and it's actually quite incredible the journey we've been on. So myself, I'm a youth worker, right, so I went to a Father Network Scotland training day. I wanted to learn more about the father's role in a child's life, right, because I'm working with young people. But Gregor, one of their co-founders, he worked for another organisation, Three Freedom Chapel. So anyway, we went to this meeting together, and after the meeting, we had a wee chat about it because this information was powerful. They spoke about suicides and the father's role and ACEs and all that stuff. And ACEs stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences, right? And that's a totally different conversation, man. It's incredible, that research. So Greg and I agreed, with permission for our bosses, to run a dad's group, because there's loads of groups in Drumchapel, right? But it tends to be females, mums, who go to these groups. So we said, right, let's get a dad's group going. I'll take my wee Lucas out along, Greg will take his wee boy along, and we'll see if any dads come along and try and engage in a positive environment and get fed and get a lunch, get a gab, talk about stuff. So we've done an 8-week pilot. We get funding for our local housing association, and that 8 weeks we managed to stretch the funding to 13 weeks. Anyway, after it, we spoke. There was about 6 dads came along, and some of the dads, one of the dads was Fraser Devine, who's also a co-founder, funnily enough. We all had a wee chat about how powerful the group was and how it made them felt. So what we done was we agreed to meet in Gregor's house in 2019, and I think it was March or April, and we said, right, look, we don't want this to finish. Both Greg and I never wanted it to finish, so we were going to become volunteers at this point. And we said, what do we do here? There's not just dads who are struggling, it's guys in general. So I'm pretty sure Gregor, because our wee dads group was called Dads Matter, right? That was called Dads Matter. And then Gregor said, why don't we just have to start a group called Men Matter? And I'm like, Men Matter, that sounds brilliant, man. Men Matter. Then I don't know where Scotland came from, somewhere in there. So there's me, Gregor, Fraser, John Cassidy, James Duffy and Gavin Duffy, all there at this meeting, the founders meeting. But so on the journey, the 3 boys drifted away. James, Gavin and John drifted away. So then we started just doing things like litter picks in the community, Paul, that never cost anything. You get litter pickers off G15, my work. And we just started doing litter picks about the community. And see the first litter pick we done, we met a guy also litter picking, and he was from Knightswood. And he's like, it's so random meeting you. He said, I'm just bored all the time, I'm stuck in the house. I'm out here litter picking because I drove by it one day and it was a mess. And he got involved with Men Matter Scotland right away, man, on their first litter pick. And there's been other wee things that happened on the journey. It's just like as if the stars are aligning and things are supposed to happen. But that's how Men Matter started. That was the foundations. It was a wee dads group to get dads more involved and not just in their child's life, but also in their community. And what happens now, see if I walk by like Gavin Duffy or James Duffy or that doing a soupy, I'll talk to them and say, What's happening? How you been? So I've got friendships there and just connections for life, just by association of Men Matter. And like the guys you have met today, you'll talk to them now down the street because you know them.
100%.
You know what I mean? So that's where Men Matter started, mate, and that's where we're at now. In that short space of time, we had a community consultation no long after we formed, and we had like 14 people come on here, 14 guys who gave us their opinions, we gave them our ideas. Let's do something. Going for it now, Paul, we've now got a hub with 13 rooms in it. We've got 2 members of staff. We want to increase that because the capacity is increasing weekly. Every room has got a purpose to improve men's mental health. It's not just been put there for no reason. There's a reason why every room is the way it is. So we've got a DIY room, we've got a gym, we've got a multi-use room, a gaming room, we've got a shower room, we've got a relaxation room, a kitchen, a counselling session, we've got a DJ room, and we've got a big socialising area where the snooker table is. See if I'm talking too fast, tell us, because I tend to rabble on.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Bang on.
So we're waiting for there. We're here now. We've got a place for 2 staff. We've got loads of brilliant volunteers. And I need to say, see if Men Matter didn't have its volunteers, it would not be operating to the level it is now. And I need to give Gregor and Fraser, the co-founders, a shout out. They 2 boys went a full year, Paul, without employment, knocked back employment to make this happen. I don't think I can overplay that enough. They 2 guys, man, they put their life under stress, their families under stress, to make this happen because we see the value in it, we know how important it is. And that's 2 guys who genuinely care with everything they've got. I mean, we've made a lot of mistakes along the way, but that's going to happen. It should happen. Mistakes are good because it allows us to learn from it. So that's what Men Matter is now. We do a thing on a Friday called Go Wild, where we take guys away to a local beauty spot like Balmaha or Luss, and we do things like cold water exposure, which has been proven to significantly help the mental health and physical health of the human body. So, mate, there's loads. We've got a minibus as well. We've got funding for a minibus, which just breaks down so many barriers. Honestly, it's unreal. We've got disability access, the lot, mate. So, if I've missed anything out and see if anybody wants to ask any questions in the chat, Paul, please let them fire away, man.
Yeah, that's the other thing, guys. See where he's on. We've got 26 viewers just now. Guys, if you get any questions for Peter, myself, or just want to find out a wee bit more information, then batter it in the chat. We're kind of hoping that we'll talk a wee bit through Men Matter, some of the stuff they do, some of the stories. We'll show you a couple of wee short videos, and we're hoping that kind of the tail end of this, we'll do some question and answers. So please, by all means, if you've got a question, fire it in the chat. Don't be shy. Come and speak to us. Anything at all, just pop in the chat and say hi. Tell us who you are, where you're watching from. Tell us where you've seen the event. Are you a member of Men Matter already, or are you somebody for the gaming community? Because we're trying to talk about the gaming community as well and the benefits, because the benefits of mental health in terms of gaming has been massive. And especially for me and Peter, we can talk about this because we've been directly involved in this sort of thing. But I think gaming in general, there's a bit of a stigma in mental health and gaming, and I think it seems to be quite a bad thing for youths to spend too much time on the computer. And I think that is the case. I think it is the case, and it's like anything, it's okay in moderation. I was off work for 11 months, and that was through furlough, holidays, and then the wee man being born, and we had a bit of a tough run through there. But gaming was my escape. Gaming was my thing to do when I had nothing else to do. The weather was crap, we had COVID, terrified to go out the house because you don't know what you're going to catch. Is the Wayne going to catch it, etc, etc. Gaming for me was my out, and I've took it on and embraced it. And when I do stuff, I tend to do it full pelt, which doesn't always work out for me. But this time it has worked out. Do you know what I mean? I started on the PS4, and then I started streaming, and then for streaming I got a wee camera for the PS4, and then before I know it I'm PS5, and I've got a camera for that, and before I know it I've got a PC set up in the full shebang. Do you know what I mean? I've got a corner in my living room dedicated to streaming, and my family kind of tiptoeing around us. James, welcome to the stream, big man. Right, so we've got a couple of questions. Craig is asking, what times is the hubs open, what day? And that's a good shout, actually.
That's a good question. So right now we're open, if we're doing Go Wild, we're shutting a Friday, right? But Monday to Thursday we're open from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Alright, and the best way to get down to you right now, because the numbers are restricted, the best way to get in is to make an appointment. Just contact us on Facebook or phone us I'm sure Don can put the phone number in the description if he's still on. It's 0141 944 7900. Or just private mail us on Facebook, no bother, we'll get back to you, no problem at all, honestly.
100%, man. But so I've got James watching for Crawford Castle Milk doing my granny's bit. Love it, man. I love that shit. Simon's in here as well. Gaming basically saved my life. I can totally understand that. For me, it's an out, mate. And you know, sometimes I get a lot of people where gaming is difficult, especially when you're in a relationship and you spend a lot of time in gaming. But my missus is honestly, she's gold. She's just like, she understands. See, when we're working or we're doing this or we're doing that or we're stressed and pressures and everything else, that's my out. That's where I go and talk to the boys, have a bit of a laugh, have a bit of banter. And especially through COVID, when I didn't get to see a lot of my mates, I was talking to my mates almost every day, and it was just through gaming, talking to my mates. And then eventually this is built into a community where I'm talking to people like Mandy, who's watching, like Ren's who's talking just now. It's loads of people here that I didn't know if it wasn't for gaming. And through the gaming community, through the Scottish Warzone players and stuff like that, I've met all these people. And now it's like, you feel as if you know these people. Some of these people I've never even met face to face. Some of them I couldn't tell you what they look like. But gaming's done that for me, and it's definitely been a massive benefit. So Don's put in the address of the place, the hub. He's gave the address, he's gave the opening and closing times, he's gave the phone number. Don is absolutely outstanding for us. I wish there was Ren's is saying he wish there was a group like this over in Arbroath. The amount of suicide that happened there is crazy. Only really available help if you're a woman. That's the thing, and I think that was the gap, Ren's. I think that's why it started, and the guys put so much time and effort into it, and it's grew, I would say, exponentially. It's been massive. I couldn't believe what the hub's turned into, to be honest.
We're sitting with a membership of over 700 people right now, men.
Aye, 700, and that's regular people showing up, doing things. And what we tend to find is guys that come into the hub and need help and get the help they need. They then return that and they say, do you know what, I want to be volunteer, I want to spend my time here, not just because it helps me feel better, but it helps me feel better and make other people feel better. We've got...
Well, that's the beauty of Men Matter Scotland. 2 seconds, mate. That's the beauty of Men Matter Scotland. See, when guys come in for help, so what's happening is, right, they're making connections, and this is something they're missing in their life, is connections, and I'm a big believer, and so is the guys at the hub. Like, for every connection you make, your life's a wee bit better, right? So that's when you're talking about you're missing your pals, and that things were getting a bit tough. When you've re-engaged with your pals, you've reconnected with your pals, and you've also connected with a hobby as well. So gaming's something you enjoy, so you've connected with that, you've connected with your mates, and what gaming does, and this is why I love gaming, right? We'll talk about this later probably. See, when you're gaming, you're not thinking about a single problem that's going on in your life because you are solely focused, for me, no dying. Right, I know you're focused on killing people, but I focus on no dying. Right? That's my opinion. But that's what's happening. So, like you've said, guys come in the hub. Now, there's guys for all walks of life. We've had guys who are absolutely minted who come in the hub, and we've got guys who've got absolutely nothing come in the hub. I mean, homeless. It's nothing, right? And see, when they come in the hub, that class divide is not there. It's not there. What you've got is a brotherhood, and again, as cheesy some of the stuff I might say sounds, it's factual. And what happens is, if say you're struggling to get a plug fitted for your cooker or something, right? One of the boys in the hub's a spark, he'll come and date for you. Aye. Or say you're a personal trainer and there's boys who are about to get fit, they'll do a plan for you, no problem. So what you've got is you've got a network of guys who want to help each other without getting anything back, because by helping somebody, you automatically feel better within yourself, and that's why you felt so good that day, Paul, and Monday. Standing with Scott, talking to him, and then talking to our guys, because you're getting to know the people, you're forming connections with strangers, and it's so powerful. I can't overestimate it. It's so powerful, especially with new people, getting to know them a wee bit and sharing a wee bit about yourself with them. It's powerful stuff, mate. It really is. It's natural. Definitely. It's so natural.
Definitely. Young Callum saying that he started gaming at 5. He says it makes him feel far, far happier, which is good. I like to see that, Callum. Class. Mandy's the same, saying Dunno let me try it again, hold on. Dunno where I'd rather be. Don's putting in outside hub hours. Don's putting in some more links. Andrew says, I'm no liking the camera angle, it's just so unusual. Do you know what it is, Andrew? See my camera when I'm normally streaming, it's cropped so that you just see my big, handsome, beautiful face, right? But when it's no cropped, you see the whole fucking living room, right? And I don't want everybody to see my whole living room, right? It's very tidy, but still, I don't want you to see my living room, right? So I've kind of changed the angle so that you can just see me in this fucking computer setup. Andrew, cheers for the 200 stars. Andrew, the stars will be donated to Men Matter Scotland. Anything that's donated tonight will go straight to Men Matter Scotland. So thanks, Andrew, for them. I'll send them on. What else have we got? Are any of you qualified in mental health practitioners? That's a question for you.
So in terms, so see everybody involved in Men Matter, nobody's officially, so I'll be careful with this, nobody's medically trained right to that level. However, we've all done courses in mental health. So for example, everybody who's employed at Men Matter Scotland right now is assist trained. And that's a massive thing to have. So assist training, it's called suicide first aid in other places, but it's a massive thing to have. But what we do have, so what we've had recently, and we're going to get back in, is counsellors. So we've got a counselling service, which will be reinstated once the COVID thing calms down a bit. But what we find works, I don't know who asked that question, but what we are finding working the most is the peer-to-peer support.
100%.
That's what we're finding has been more powerful to the guys who come in, especially new guys. Because I don't know if anybody's experienced it. When you go to the doctor, you tell them how you're feeling, and they will try and give you something for it, right? A medical prescription. But they don't say, understand how you feel. They don't say, I felt like that before. See, at Men Matter, what you get is guaranteed somebody will be there who's going, I know exactly what you're going through, man. And how horrible is it? Now, this is a great wee saying, I love this. See, if you're standing in the darkness alone, it's a horrible, scary place, right? We've all been in a dark forest somewhere or dark streets at night somewhere. But see if somebody's with you, it isn't anywhere half as scary. Because you've got companionship. And see when somebody says to you, Paul, I know exactly how you feel. It's like, Jesus Christ, man, somebody else. It's like you can take a breath again, you can breathe again. Does that make sense?
Aye.
That wee knot in your belly just pisses off for a wee bit because you're sitting in the company of somebody who's either been through what you've gone through or they're going through it as well. And see, having that companionship, mate, is so powerful. And again, that's something I've experienced myself, and it's a game changer. And that's what we think. That's what we find that works the most. But what we do is to add to that is the counselling sessions as well, and the fitness sessions, and the Wim Hof stuff. So Wim Hof's the breathing exercises and the cold water exposure and a bit of yoga. So we've got a myriad of opportunities to take part in things that improve your mental health. But so to answer your question, we're not medically trained at Men Matter, but we've got training that you need to support guys to a certain level. Hope that answers your question.
Absolutely. Mandy's just commented, says she's wanted to do a fundraiser for the group, and she'll be in touch to discuss it soon. Big Andy's saying, yeah, definitely need to help the cause. Steph Krangle's in. Krangle, how you doing, buddy? Your old pal, Peter.
Yeah,
so he's basically saying, he's commenting back to the Ren's comment, when Ren's is saying it'd be difficult, obviously he's not broth and he wishes there was something local. Krangle's basically reiterating what we're saying, it's Men Matter Scotland, who knows how far and how wide it can go with a group, and that just depends on how much support they can get. It has been growing massively, I think, since the beginning, and I think it will continue, but Ren's, what I would say is, advertise Men Matter Scotland up there. Just because the central hub is based in Drumchapel, it doesn't mean that other people can't get in touch. There is support there. You can send a message. You can talk to people. You know what I mean? We can set up things like this where people can talk. And this weekend, sorry.
Can I respond to Ren's?
Yeah.
See, Ren does want to get in touch, man. We're on a digital talking group once a week, and it's so good. Honestly, I know it might seem intimidating and scary. I would recommend any person watching this, any guy watching this, gives it a wee bash. It's no too heavy. The questions are quite light, but again, it depends on what you want to kind of share with folk. But what I will say is, any guy who's been in a talking group has never regretted sharing at a talking group. And again, I always say this, I include myself in that. Sometimes I go to talking groups, I don't feel as if I need to share stuff, but I always leave it feeling better.
Definitely.
Every single time I feel better, again, because I'm connecting with people. By nature, we're pack animals by nature. So when you're in a group of people who are going through stuff, and you're sharing, it's class, man. And it's not this pure dark, deep, depressing room where people talk about other pure worst, horrible feelings. it's actually quite refreshing because everybody's getting stuff off their chest, so they're all taking a fresh breath of air in, and it's a game changer. So, Renz, I'd encourage you to take part, mate. I'd love that.
Definitely. He's just said 100% he'll be on that pronto. He's going to get in touch with the guys, see if we can get involved in it, which is great. Cheers, Renz. We've got Jamie Florence in the chat. Flojo, we're old football team, Matthew, back in the day. Flo's been a good supporter of mine, mate. He's always on the streams, or else he's on like my TikToks. The guy's been superb, man. And I think when we first started back the Call of Duty phase and the Warzone phase, I think we actually had a few games. I think we were on Fortnite before that, actually, me and Flo. We've got Peter saying, guys, this is just what I need right now. So glad this conversation's happening. It already feels like it's helping me. Would love to make a trip through for Edinburgh to see the hub. Thanks so much, guys. Peter, that's tremendous, mate, honestly. Get in touch with the guys, mate. We can arrange something. Get you come through. Come and see the guys. Come and chat to them. As Peter said, they've got the online session. So if you just get in touch with them and message them, we can arrange that as well. And then you can get involved in the groups with the comfort of your home. Because I think sometimes that's the difficult part. It's really difficult sometimes for people to step through the doors. But as Scott says, and as Bob's words, I think I'll throw Bob's video in a second. Pushing yourself to get through the doors for the first time. I mean, I was there on Monday, and a mum came in. A mum came in with her son. I would say early 20s, and he looked in a bad way, both physically and mentally. He looked in a bad way when he came in. And his mum bought him all the way for East Kilbride. She'd done a train trip, a bus ride, and got lost halfway, but she made it there in the pissing rain. You know what I mean? And she brought him in, and you could. Scott was telling me, I seen the boy come in, and I never seen him leave, and Scott and the other boys were doing a debrief, said the difference in this guy when he was walking out the door gave them a boost. And it's the kind of thing that Bob talks about, where he gets a boost after seeing other people do well and get better and feel better about themselves. It makes him feel better. So Peter, cheers for that. Deacon, there's Deacon in as well. Deacon, what's happening, my man? Deacon tries to get to every talking group, so the offer, that's good. There's a reason segregation is the worst punishment in civilised society, 100%.
Discord, who wants to jump on?
Deacon, if you've got Discord, mate, we can get you in, because you're one of the guys that do a lot in there. So if you have got Discord and you've got it ready, give Peter a message, mate. We'll get it sorted. If not, we can get you in the next one, because we're planning to do these again. David's saying, if I can grow some balls, I might check out. David, that is one of the biggest things. It's not about growing a set of balls, mate. You've already got a set of balls. It's just whether you want to do it and when you're comfortable doing it, mate. Yes, that's the kind of stigma that people hang, mate, or grow a set of balls and all that kind of stuff. That's nonsense, mate. Honestly, if you feel comfortable enough and confident enough, then get yourself down, David. That'd be great to see you down there. Deacon saying we need each other. Deacon, absolute superb. Callum's asking, is the hub any age? So it's the age brackets for the hub coming down.
So basically the lower age is 16 years old, right? There's no upper limit. So what's special about Men Matter Scotland as well, there's a generation gap there that's massive, but again, like I said earlier, there's no class divide, there's no age divide either. I've sat and had plenty of conversations with guys in their 70s, just talking about what they like in music. They ask me what I like in music. Proper conversations, and you forget there's an age gap, because it's not important. What's important is he's a guy and he's want to talk to you. Exactly. And it's brilliant. Special, man, honestly.
Just having a look through here. Right, Deacon's already answered that. He finishes at 9, but keep me in mind, Deacon, we'll definitely get you on the next one, mate, because I love your energy, man. Your energy's outstanding, and I think you'll be good to get on. Jamie's saying having someone just to listen helps so much. 100%, mate, 100%, and that's why the talking groups are so successful, because it's just going down there and it's talking. Do you know what I mean? We're talking tonight. I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. Guys, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw in a wee very short video, and it's Bob's video. Peter will know the one I'm talking about. This guy, he's just tremendous, and it's a wee short clip, and it's for one of the guys who went to Men Matter for a bit of help, and now he's a volunteer there, and he volunteers quite a bit. So we're going to throw in the Bob video. Have a wee listen. Peter, this is your opportunity if you need to nip away and get a drink of juice or water or anything else.
I'm going to go share that. I'm going to go share the link now, mate, so people can see it. So everybody get a wee share.
Everybody get a wee share, that's it. It's not that one, it is this one, I think. Right, and I'm just going to pull it over here, and hopefully you can see it. I'm going to what one's this? Right. Hide that. And where am I? We'll do this. Let me know you can see it. That should be about right, I think. There we go. So this is Bob's video. A minute and 33 and it's worth watching. So got to go finish up, guys, back on at 9. No worries, Deacon, catch you later, buddy. Appreciate it. Be on to watch you soon, mate. Star and work. Class Cosmo, man. Aidan, thank you so much. Guys, 1 minute and a half. This is Bob's story, right?
Action. Menmatter Scotland is like the blood, honestly, running through my veins. I'm aware of it. I can feel it. It's like electrical charge. And that's what you get when you walk in this door. You get this for everybody else in here. It's like a big jolt of electricity. And that comes from positivity, willpower, and how this place works. If it wasn't for these doors, I don't know if we'd be alive today. And that's coming from my heart. And I've told everybody else in here, that's the best door that you will ever walk through in your life, even if you had fear to walk through it. Everything works in here. You can pour it out. There's no judgment. There's nothing. But what I've experienced watching men that's been crippled in 2 or 3 days, openly preaching to other people, that's what puts fuel in my battery. When my battery's sitting at 5%, it lifts me to 70. So trust me, if you're in a dark, dark place where we've all been, this is the brightest light and the shining star.
I'm just going to pause this now, or else it will keep replaying. And there's Pistol's ceiling. So let me just chat box, image jamming. Right, okay, guys, have you got any more questions? Any more questions in the chat for Peter before he comes back? He's in there sharing the stream now. Guys, feel free to drop a like, smash a like in the stream if you want. The likes and stuff only for my own benefit. The likes will help other people to see the stream. So it's an algorithm thing for Facebook. The more people like it and share it, the more people will actually see it. Peter, tell us about some of the activities that go on at the hub.
So like I say, the talking group's one of the activities, right? And that was one of our first activities. We started a wee talking group in Chest Heart and Stroke Scotland to give us a room for nothing. So we get a talking group. We do we've got the DJ tutorials. We do yoga. We do cold water exposure. We do cycling. We do movie nights. Well, the guys just get together and watch. We've got a big belter and projector. The guys have been doing karaoke lately, playing some snooker. The Go Wild sessions, hill walking sessions, the football. So we do 5-a-side goals. It's free. Don't charge you a penny. It's all covered. We pay for a lot of it. Any activity you do with Menmatter Scotland, you will not be charged for it. Just to make that clear. Everything's free. Even your membership's free. We're working on a residential programme now with guys at Fire, Peace and Recovery. So we're hoping to go to where is it? No, Aviemore. Hope to go to Aviemore in June with guys for an overnight camp. Going to be building fires and camping out and all the rest of it. So, and I've probably missed a few things out there, mate. I probably have missed a few things out, but there's loads of stuff that goes on at Menmatter. And see if you go to Menmatter and what you like doing isn't there. Say to the guys, say, can we start doing this? And I guarantee you'll get a wee shot of doing it. Sorry, cooking classes. I know it's good enough. We've actually, so one of the reasons we've got the hub is we want to upskill guys. We want to give them a more hopeful future. So we've already put guys through their food hygiene certificates, which has allowed guys to go do kitchen porter jobs. So to gain employment. We've got other plans as well coming up to do more stuff like that. But obviously the coronavirus held us back a wee bit. But it won't hold us back forever.
Definitely. Don just saying that they can come up with a magnet fishing as well, which is another popular one, and one that I attended recently, or no recently at the start of it, was Big Scott's guitar sessions. But I love Big Scott. Big Scott's the guy you see down here Down at the bottom with the ginger hair and the big ginger beard. That's Big Scotty. He's got a song in the charts already, the big man, and he's doing well.
Yeah, he's got a song in the charts. Big Scotty's an absolute gentleman, man. He's class. He's got a song in it. You think he was number 2 in the iTunes chart at one point, Paul? He's class.
He was, aye.
I'm glad you said that, because I missed the guitar lessons and the magnification, so that's good, man.
And local hill walks as well. Don's were ever watching admin here, and he's filling in the blanks when behind me on the chat, putting the PayPal links in and stuff. Guys, see for anybody else, Don's fired the PayPal link in. His PayPal link is in the description. Don was saying sometimes in the live stream when you click on it doesn't let you do it in your mobile, so as soon as the live stream's ended you can click on it if you need to donate anything at all or want to donate anything. Big Andy's saying, been through some really dark times, speaking to guy mates have really helped him through the darkest of times. Good Andrew, man, glad to hear it, mate. You know, we're all here, man, we're all here for you. What else do you want to talk about in terms of Men Matter? Because gaming, as I said, has helped. This is kind of a tie-in, obviously, with the Men Matter Scotland, the mental health aspects, and then obviously the positive impact of gaming, because I think it really does have a positive impact. What about you? What's your experiences with it?
I'll tell you, right, so see, years ago when we were younger, probably 10 years ago, we all played Call of Duty together, right, on PS3. Remember back in the day, man, before streaming was even a thing, right? I loved that. We used to sit up to 3 in the morning, or the rest just playing Rainbow Six or Call of Duty, whatever. But so see, in the last year, I've not really played the computer a lot, right? I've not played it a lot in the last couple of years. I've not had one because I've got 2 ways. I would never get a chance, man. They're in my ear constantly, but I don't mind that. But in the last year, there's been a lot of stresses in my life. Again, it's alright, the hub's a brilliant place, but see, managing it is different. There's 2 sides to Men Matter. The side that me, Greg and Fraser were dealing with all by ourselves for a while. Nobody got to see that side of it because we didn't want to expose them to that level of stress. There was a lot of stress behind the scenes that even you guys, yourself, Don and all that, would never have a clue about. And there's times last year, man, it got quite overwhelming being involved in Men Matter. Really overwhelming. And there's times I just felt going, I can't be bothered with this, man, this stress. Can't be bothered with it. But every time I felt that way, I thought, hold on. You always say, to talk to myself here, you always said you never wanted any other guy to feel the way you felt. So screw that up and just get it sorted. And that's what I've done. But what I will say is, I used to watch on our wee chat. We've got a wee WhatsApp chat, me, Paul, and all that. And every single day they were talking about playing Warzone, and I'm sitting pure jealous, man, because I'm up to here with pure stress, like proper stuff, man. And they're sitting talking about killing guys on Warzone. And I'm like, you're still jammy bastards, man. What I would do with playing Warzone with you today, but I wasn't. I was doing my full-time job as a youth worker. I was doing online fitness classes as a personal trainer, fitness instructor, and I was still doing a lot of administration side for Men Matter Scotland with regards to PVGs, accounts, talking to lawyers and all the rest of it. And that's not just me, that's the other 2 boys as well. So they've got this stress as well. And remember, they weren't getting paid for half of this. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they're doing this, not getting paid on top of it. So when I started to play Warzone with you, I get a Lenny a PS4 after my work, G15, because we're shut now. So my gaffer gave me a PS4 to play with, which I really appreciate. See, the second I started playing Call of Duty with you, like you said a minute ago, see all that stress that was in my head or in my life at the time, it disappeared for that 2 hours. Disappeared, 100%. Man. I totally left all that. I left it in the house, but I wasn't in the house mentally. I was in Warzone mentally. Does that make sense?
Verdansk, mate. You're in Verdansk.
I was in Verdansk, getting smashed. I was happy with it. Like you people, one of the big benefits is getting to talk to you guys. These are my best mates, so I get to talk to you. Like, see, like the other day, man, when you get that loadout landed on you, it was hilarious, man. And then you get Mad Burger. Yeah, I've pure enjoyed playing with Burger. We stay up to 3 in the morning sometimes, me and Burger. But that's the benefit of gaming for me. It's the escapism. Now, it's alright, it's no good to run away from your problems forever. But see, getting a break for it, my God, man, it's a game changer. It really, really is. Like you said earlier, mate, moderation, everything. See if you can find balance in your life. Include gaming in it. Because it's so beneficial. It really, really is. And you get to meet some really nice people. I remember us playing solo, was it solo duels or solo quads or something like that? And I was talking to a wee guy forever playing. He's a Rangers fan, and we're laughing about the 10 in a row stuff and all that. I'm a Celtic fan. We were having a wee bit of banter, but it was pure nice. He was a wee older guy. He was in his 60s. I'm like, you're playing God in your 60s. But it just goes to show you. It just goes to show you that the network, the family, gaming is wide and proud, man. It's brilliant. I absolutely love it, mate. It's brilliant. It's been a great way for me to de-stress. Really, really has.
100%. I'm the same. Just going back to the chat now, Don's saying the members and volunteers end up with some of their own ideas to keep themselves busy. Come along, get involved, and maybe host your own activities. Because Peter's disappeared off the call, and maybe he's back. So So Don's saying that when you go down and volunteer, you can come up with your own ideas. You can come up with your own things that you want to do, and get involved. Gary's saying,
Still hear me, bro?
I can still hear you, mate. Your camera's disappeared, but
I think Danny Atkins trying to join.
battery gone low or something. I think no
Try and
worries.
join.
Just jumping through, it's went full screen me, so you've got my big stupid face again. Right, Gary's saying, wish this was about when I lost my mum and dad about 10 years ago. Took me almost 7 years to get my life back to myself. You're doing a really good job, well done. Gary, cheers for sharing that, mate. And I think that's the important part. It's about sharing stuff like that. Where you feel confident and comfortable enough that you can say, do you know what, I want to talk about this stuff. Gary, so cheers, mate. I appreciate that. Mandy is saying, as a non-penis owner, I've never truly realised how much men need what you offer until tuning in tonight. Absolutely amazing. I'll be donating and 1,000,000% organising a fundraiser. Sorry, my reading skills have went to shit tonight, but you get the gist. Mandy, appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Really appreciate it. Mandy, again, I'm going to be a bit cheeky here, right? See the ideal situation for Men Matter. See rather than you giving us a big donation or whatever, 40 quid, 50 quid. See if you were to give us a fiver and tick that wee monthly box. That would be brilliant for us. So just to let anybody know that who does want to donate, small monthly donations are better than one-half big donations for us. Yep. See if it's like £2, you would miss £2 a month. Hit the donate monthly button, please. Because that's the kind of stuff that's gold dust for charities. It really, really is. And you would be a patron of Men Matter Scotland, and you can proudly say you continue to support men's mental health. Cheers, Mandy. But do whatever you want to do. It's just a suggestion. Gary, see you're talking about grief, mate. It's something we've had a lot of guys come in recently who have lost parents. And that grief, man, I've never experienced it, right? And I'm fortunate to never experience it, but that grief must be so overwhelming. So I really appreciate you sharing that. And I'd love you, if you ever feel obliged, to rap us a wee message, man. Because your experience might just help another guy who's going through it right now, who's trying to get his life back together.
100%, definitely. Krangle's back in again, says, gaming's a big thing for me just now. Gives me the chance to speak to my best mates back up the road, and I look forward to them all the time. Because that's the thing, you know what it's like, Krangle's down the road. I've not seen him in God knows how many years, man. And I just hearing that familiar voice again and talking to people that you've not seen, do you know what I mean? I can totally relate to that, man. Love it. Ravis is saying gaming keeps me not going insane. I can understand that, Ravis, because I know what kind of work you do, and I'll not mention anything about it, but I can understand why you need a wee release. Simon's asking, can you pin the PayPal link into the comments? Exactly, mate. That's what I will do. Don, let me just do that now, and I should be able to pin it. There we go. Pinned in the comments. Cheers, Simon. Good shout. I don't know why the other one's just auto in there. I should have put that on. Issues with a link not being clickable. If you use the pop-out video, you'll be able to click the link. There you go. So Don's did the admin side and keep me right with that. Simon's tagged somebody in it. David Cochran sent 500 stars. David, thank you. Those stars will be going straight to Men Matter Scotland. Any stars that are donated this evening in a night stream will be going straight to Men Matter Scotland. So thank you for that, mate. That's really appreciated. Don's put in the website address as well, because we've got a website as well. You can read some of the member stories and get involved and also donate on the website as well. So we've got the website link, we've got the PayPal, we've got the Facebook page. Don's saying pretty much he's reiterating what you had says with the PayPal, the fact that it gives you an option to set up a recurring payment, which, as you say, sometimes people come in and they give a large donation, but see the smaller ones, as long as they're reoccurring, because they all add up, and that's the thing. Simon saying grief is a horrible thing. I think most of us can relate to that, and I appreciate it. So again, cheers, Gary, for sharing your story. Get me a click and you've got it. There you go. Mandy says you get me a click and you've got it. Mandy, Don will send you a PM, or else I will when I come off stream. and give you all the details. You can click away at your heart's content, right?
Could I ask Don, could he put in, see if any of the guys watching this want to hear some of the member stories? We've got a YouTube page and it's got loads of guys' stories on it. Maybe Don could put that link in the chat, but some of the stories are really powerful, man. And again, I guarantee some people in here who watch them might see themselves in these stories. We've got
100%.
coke addiction, suicide, alcoholism, homelessness, a wide variety of issues, and it's just real guys who come to Men Matter who talk about them.
Definitely.
You get to see more of me because I host it.
Don will probably be getting that link sent as we speak because he's on the ball with this stuff. So, cheers for that. Anything else you want to talk about in terms of well, I think probably the next part we should talk about is where do you see where it's going next with Men Matter?
Mate, it's a great point. I'm glad you raised that, man, because your man the bro fair is at Rennes. And a bro, is it?
Yeah.
Is it Rennes? Yeah. So our plan, we've got a 5-year plan, right? Obviously COVID has set us back a wee bit, but we don't want Drumchapel to be the only place that's got a Men Matter hub in it. We want to identify hotspots across the country and get a Men Matter hub in there where local people employed, people who know the area, people who have got the skill set and been through it. So that is our plan. We want to have guys in Arbroath, Dumfries, Easterhouse, Castlemilk, Aberdeen, all over the country, man. We want to have a massive network of Men Matter hubs because we know it works. Our model in Drumchapel, one of the hardest, stereotypically, one of the hardest schemes in the country. We've got guys for there coming through our doors talking about problems, getting real support. And if we can do it in Drumchapel, we can do it anywhere. I believe that. Absolutely believe that. And again, the issues might differ in each community. I don't think they will, but they might. And that's why it's important to have local people who know mental health. I don't mean that through reading books, I mean through living it. Being employed in some capacity to deliver the service, because it's so important that it stays grassroots. So important. We can't give the model Men Matters go to we call them professional services, right, quote unquote, because then it becomes sterilised. And that doesn't work. That's why Men Matter exists.
Do you know, I thought that was one of the things that was quite poignant when the guys were saying when I was doing it Monday. So basically we're talking about going to see therapists or going to see professional mental health people, if you like. So they were going to see them and ask about their issues, and basically one of the guys had said the person that he was there to see, she was saying, I'm here to learn off you, because I don't know what this is about. So she's literally learning, and he said that going to professionals, as he say, I've read a book, and I'm not diminishing all professionals, because obviously people have put a lot of time and effort into what they do and they understand parts of it, but I think one of the difficult parts is they don't understand what it's like. They might say, I know how you feel, but they don't know how you feel. And the guys in the hub know how you feel, and that's why I think the peer-to-peer support is so important, because when the guys are saying, I know how you feel, they actually do. They've been through shit in their life and they've talked about it, and that's what makes them more approachable and open to discussions like that, where they can say, do you know what, I know what you've been through, I know how you feel, because I've been there, and I'm here to help you, and I'm here to talk about it and tell you how I was in the place that you're in, and now how far I've come on.
That's spot on, but the thing is as well, but that's not to say, and I know you're not saying that, right, but that's not to say there's no place for professional services. Again, I know guys who have been to counsellors, mate, and it's changed their life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's just it's another tool you can use to get better, to feel better, alright, to feel better, because there's a good wee thing, man. People who've got mental health problems think they're broke. They're not broke. You're just in an environment where you're not happy. The happiness isn't there. Men Matter brings happiness into your environment. And slowly but surely, the more you engage with positive things, the more positive your life becomes. That's just a fact.
Definitely. I'm just going to jump back to the chat now, Pistol. So James is saying, guys, are the guys opened on Mondays? It's a bank holiday. I've heard great stories about the hub. Need to come over. Might bring the CEO of Let's Talk, similar to Men Matters, but both genders individually, due to sadly the amount of suicides in Castlemilk. James, get in touch with the guys. Absolutely get in touch with the guys, man. Andrew's saying he's been shafted of his mod abilities because Don's on the ball, filing and all this stuff. Andy, you are one of the top mods, mate. It's just that the big man's on the ball with the Men Matter side and what's going on. Scrolling through. Yeah, Callum's on the ball. That's Gregor's missus, isn't it? Callum's on the ball. She says we're open on Monday. I'm just sorry a wee bit behind in the chat. There needs to be a men matter in Ayrshire. There's a horrible suicide rate. With ages at 18 to 30, absolutely devastating. Simon, we know firsthand for Drumchapel. I know people personally that we've played football for, we've hung about with, that sadly have committed suicide, and it's a horrible thing. It happens far too often in Drumchapel, and for me it happens far too often to young people. So the work the guys are doing is unbelievable. Just scrolling through, Laura sent 530 stars. Laura, thank you. All the stars sent in, again I'll just reiterate, all the stars sent in tonight will be going to Menmar Scotland, so thank you, Laura, appreciate it. Paul Cochrane, professionals.
Can I just jump in quickly?
Yeah, of course.
Can I jump in quickly? You see anybody that's watching this and think this should be in this area, this should be in this area, right? Again, we have plans to expand our service to different areas, but that might take a while. See if you've got the right people in your area, or you might feel so obliged to start a wee talking group. Because again, when we started the talking groups, I was the only one that was assist trained, so I hosted the talking groups. Again, you don't need to be, and again, it can put people off doing positive things because you think you need to have all this training, all this stuff. You don't. We started just with a talking group and a litter pick, so that's no hard to organise. It's really no. Contact your local councillor, find out what organisations are in your area, and see how they can support men's mental health. And you can be proactive in saying, right, well, I'm happy to organise a wee hill walk. Let's go hill walking. Any guys in my area want to go hill walking? That's a positive connection right away. Any guys in my area want to play football, doing it local goals, maybe a fiver a heat, but that's just where you're at to start with. And maybe find a local company who will sponsor that. You don't need to be an expert in anything other than being a good person to start this stuff, because that's where we started. And I mean that sincerely. I know I've got experience being a youth worker, but I didn't have experience being a men's mental health worker, listening to guys' problems. That's a different game. But it's a natural game. Because it's so human to converse, so human. And to start something like Men Matter isn't rocket science. I know it might seem it, and they might be stressed down the line, but to start it off with a wee litter picking group or a wee hill walking group, don't wait about for somebody to do it for you, because that's what we've done in Drumchapel for too long. We've took the bull by the horns and started this ourselves, and every single one of us who started it, like I say, are faith Drumchapel.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? Or faith Drumchapel, and when Wee Fraser's happy to tell you, he had an addiction background. He had 3 kids under the age of 5 when he started this, and it was bedlam. He'll tell you that to his face. I'm not telling you anything he would say to you. So again, don't be proactive, man. Start stuff. Get the ball rolling in your areas, man.
100%.
And we're happy to advise you, give you advice, give you support. We'll give you backing, because when we want to see more groups form, this isn't our ball we want to play with. We want to see more groups be proactive and do it themselves, man, because that's how we started and that's how magic happens.
100%, totally agree. Just jump back into chat. James is saying his opinion is the best support workers are the men and women who's been through it, seen it, done the t-shirt, wore the t-shirt kind of thing. It's hard to get help through the health system, David's saying, and I can appreciate that, because it is hard, and I think that's why, pardon the pun, there's a gap in the market when you started Men Matter. Do you know what I mean? There was a gap in the market. Sean Smith saying what's happening. Sean, cheers for popping in. Peter, right, okay, that's quite a big one. We'll not talk about it. It's just a wee bit too much. Right, I appreciate your point, but definitely, aye. He's basically saying what I've heard when I was down at the hub, where sometimes when you go and see professionals, they tend to give you a prescription of medication and you're on your way. I've heard loads of people say that at the hub on Monday, and they said that doesn't work for them. Engagement's part of any mental health recovery. 100% agree with that, Pete. That's us up to date with the channel, back on.
See that put me off going to see a doctor. So I did not want to be a number or a box tick for anybody, because I know I'm more than that. I'm a human being. I wanted to be treated like a human being. And the thought of going to a doctor with him sitting with a notepad out, ticking boxes, I couldn't face that. That made me feel worse. The thought of going down there to see a doctor and be made feel worse didn't work for me, mate. And that's just one example of many I've heard. And I've heard worse examples than that. People being treated, dehumanised, going to get help, and being left feeling worse after going to get help.
Yeah.
Talked down to by professionals. There's some scandalous work practice out there, and that needs to change. And I do think Men Matter and the other groups out there will come together and make that happen through legislation at Parliament. I do think that will happen.
Do you know it's mad to see kind of some of the background stuff in Men Matter, because obviously there's a lot of work that goes into the kind of frontline stuff where the guys are there, they're hands on, but what a lot of people don't see is the background stuff, and this is maybe the stuff that we see in terms of Foxy and myself, Don, all the stuff that goes on in the board, having these meetings that are long, regular, and they're hard work. Do you know what I mean? But every single person that's there is doing it off their own back. They're giving their own time. They're spending it. I think we should just probably reiterate that professional help, we're not diminishing professional help at all. Professional help is there, and we'd encourage you to use it. But as Peter said, see if there's a gap in the community, if there's something that you guys can do, if you can start a litter pick and you go, do you know what, even if it's me and one of my pals or somebody I know, or if I've no pals, let's just go out and do a litter pick. Somebody's going to say, what you doing? I'm doing a litter pick, I'm going out and doing a bit of community. Do you fancy getting involved? Start a Facebook page. Do you know what I mean? This is all the stuff that Men Matter done at the beginning, and it's grew so massively. So take the bull by the horns. If you think there's a gap in your area and people need a bit of support and a bit of help, then, and you feel confident enough, then go for it. Absolutely.
Paul, can I just touch on, I totally agree with everything you've just said there, by the way, man. Can I just touch on a wee bit about the background support that people might not know? So, see at the tail end of last year, so a cracking guy got involved with Men Matter, Stephen McGoldrick, he got involved with us, right? And he kind of changed the goalpost for us big time in terms of our aspirations regarding funding. And Stephen just worked magic for us. He done brilliant, man. Really, really great. So that took a wee bit of pressure away for that, right? But then the next thing you've got pressure away is accounts and stuff like that. So, again, we're just free boys for the scheme, man, so we're forgetting to keep receipts and all that, but luckily we managed to find them all. But that was only because my wife came in, Laura. She came in and gave us a plan, right, Peter, I need you to go do this, go see that shop, get receipts off them, and luckily I got them. Gregor, you do this, you do that, Fraser, do that. So Laura came in and coordinated us to get our accounts up to date, and it was amazing. And you've also got Karen, so that's Gregor's wife.
Yeah.
She's been doing admin for us since God knows how long, man. But voluntary, doing it off her own back in her spare time. She's been volunteering, doing admin work, contacting Oscar, contacting GCVS, doing payroll stuff, just helping us out. And it's such a family-orientated organisation. Again, my wife's got a pure stressful job. She works in the Beatson. See, in the spare time she was dedicating it to Men Matter to help us get our accounts through. So some nights we sat up to 4 o'clock in the morning, Paul, getting stuff sorted, because that's just what we had today.
Aye.
And it's so important, like you said, we are gaming. Your missus understands how important that is to you, so she lets you have it. That was the same with Laura, and I don't doubt Karen. They believe in what Men Matter is. It's not a cult, it's not some mad medical experience. It's real lives that are changing. And see a byproduct of saving a guy's life, Paul. That's saving a family's life. That's saving a wee boy from grieving for his dad, and a wife and a daughter and a mum grieving for her son. There's so many people affected by suicide, but also just mental health in general, anxiety, depression, OCD, see, that's a band, isn't it? OCD, PTSD. So there's so many contributing factors to mental health, but also the ripple effect of helping people, helping men, has a massive effect in the community's life. And again, how Men Matter started was for fathers to bond with their children, because that's maybe something that's not happened so much in past generations. But that bond is massive for a child's progression and development. An adult, it's good to have a positive role model that's a man. It's very important to have that as much as a female. And we can't downplay that role at all. And again, sometimes guys are left out the loop a wee bit. What we have found with some guys, in my experience as well, see when midwives came to the house, Paul, they never spoke to me.
Nah, they don't, nah.
Now, that again, some guys might be happy with that, but see deep down, see being left out of such important stuff, that hurts, man. I'm like, hold on, I'm not a subordinate to my partner. We're equal, and I want to be treated equal. And I think the professional services need to get on that level. I want to be as involved in my child's life as possible, and you'll see that, Paul. You see I'm always with my veins, right? I'm always doing stuff for them. It's so important to me that I'm in their lives and they have fond memories of me being active, playing with them when I'm older, can I do that stuff? It's really important to me. And that's what Dad's Matter came in. allowed guys to bond with their kids. And what else happened was kids who had behaviour problems were starting to behave because they were watching how other kids interacted with them. And then kids were also eating proper meals because other kids were eating proper meals. So there's a wee peer support happening thing there. You know what I mean?
Aye,
At that
it's
age,
mad.
So I don't know how I started on this, mate, but it's just, I hope what I said makes sense there, man, because I tend to rabbit on a wee bit.
I think it does. But I think both of us tend to rabbit on, and that's why we're probably either a really good combination for this podcast or really bad. I don't know. We'll let the audience decide. Revis has come in.
I remember. Sorry, there you go.
Revis has come in and he said, he thinks one of the biggest problems is, and I totally agree with him here, is some people are embarrassed to ask for help, and that is the case.
Yeah.
I think it sometimes it's an era thing, how you're brought up, family background, that kind of thing. Suck it up and go on with it. Do you know what I mean? Man up, all that kind of stuff. So it's quite difficult when for your whole life you're brought up hearing those things to then turn around and say, I need help. I need somebody to help me.
Uh-huh.
It's so difficult.
I also think it can be relative to the issue. It can matter. It depends on what the issue is that Revis has got or any other guys got. What's embarrassing about it? Again, we've had in the past dealt with guys who have maybe been scared to come out. You know what I mean? That might be embarrassing for them. Or maybe they're in debt. Maybe it's because they've allowed themselves to get in debt. Maybe it's not they asking for help. It's embarrassing sometimes. It's why they're in. It's why they need help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe they've done a domestic, or they've got in trouble with the police or something. So again, there's different reasons why people don't turn up in different levels of embarrassment as well. I totally understand that. I totally do, man. I lived under a dark cloud for 4 months, mate, because I was embarrassed. Then I had a word with myself, man, and said, screw it up, because I'd rather be embarrassed than live the way I was living, feel the way I was feeling. 100%, mate. My life's too good, and it's too short to go through it feeling the way I felt.
Aye, definitely. Just rolling through the comments here. Mandy's saying, guys, if you need any help with admin wise, I'm your woman, I'll help you out. Gary's saying Gary's saying when he had a tough time, the doctors didn't help as much. Antidepressants and beta blockers kind of made him worse, staying in the house for years, putting a lot of weight, kind of getting over it. He's got a job now, losing the fat. Don't think Men Matters was about back then, but he's saying if they were about when this happened to him, it would have definitely helped him, and I can understand
100%,
that.
mate. 100%, man. We've had a lot of feedback for guys who go into antidepressants, and it helps them with their depression, but it makes them lethargic. They've no energy. They don't want to dating. So what happens is, like the man Gary's just saying, they put weight on. They stay in the house, so they're disconnected from people. They're disconnected from exercise. They're disconnected from society. They might feel better for the depression, but again, I'm not ruling out antidepressant tablets, right? But what I will say is, I don't think that they sort the problem out. So, say that, for example, you're depressed because you're up to your eyes in debt, right? Their pills won't help you with your debt. Might make you feel a bit better, but that debt's still there, so that worry will always still be there. So what will happen is, you'll need to get your dosage up eventually because it's not working. So your dosage will go up and up and up and up and up, right? That's the way it works. So if you've got an organisation that will help you with your debt, so Men Matter don't deal with debt, but we know Citizens Advice Day, so we'll set you up with a meeting with Citizens Advice who can help you with your debt. Now if you relieve the debt problem, you're almost by proxy taking away the depression problem.
Yeah.
And that's one example, Paul. We've also had guys who haven't had access to their children in months or years. We've been able to provide mediation for the mother, security for the mum, knowing that it's going to be a safe place, but allows the dads to see their veins. And again, we've got so many examples for Men Matter where dads haven't been allowed to see their veins. And I don't think some people know the impact that has on a father. Some dads might be bad dads, they might well be not very good at being dads, but nobody teaches you how to be a dad if you've not had that kind of teacher. Does that make sense?
Yep, absolutely.
If you've not had that dad showing you how to be a dad, how do you be a dad? How do you be a good dad? It's not easy for some people because they've not had that role model, and that's why I was talking about how important it is to have a male role model in your life, because nobody wants to be a bad dad. People want to be good at that stuff, but some people haven't been taught how to be that person. They've been left to their own devices as youngsters, and they've not been shown how to be a good dad. You know what I mean? And again, that's a generational thing as well, and I hope Men Matter can start to change that for people. I really do.
Definitely. Guys, we've probably got about 10 minutes left because I want to keep this capped at the kind of time frame and save some of the stuff for the next time. So I'll open up the chat. Guys, you've got 10 minutes. Any questions for Peter or myself before we wrap it up and call it a night? And we'll sort that kind of last 5 minutes, say our goodbyes and tie up and stuff. But has anybody got any specific questions for Peter about Men Matter, about the hub, about some of the work that they do, about some of the stuff they've got on in terms of, I'm going to say events, but it's not events, what do you call it? Activities. Activities, what's in the programme. Again, all the stuff's on the website, all the stuff's on Facebook. There's loads of videos on YouTube. I would encourage everybody here to subscribe to the Men Matter YouTube channel because it's some of the stories. I picked Bob one out and put that on because for me that was one of the most powerful ones. Bob's such a character and he's just, I could watch him all day, watching stuff like that. He's so passionate.
He's got a great voice.
So passionate when he's talking about stuff. And that's what draws me in. When people are talking about something, you can tell when they're passionate about it. And that's what makes me want to get involved. And that's what makes me feel stuff when I'm watching something like him. Big Andrew's saying... Big Andrew's saying, can we all help to get rid of Anne Budge for Hearts? That would improve my mental health 1,000%. Yeah, Andy, you're having a tough time. Me and Peter are Celtic fans. This has been a rough year for us, mate.
Well, can I just touch on a couple of these just quickly? So, see on Spotify as well, guys, we've got a Men Matter Scotland playlist, right? And it's got loads of songs on it that have been recommended for guys who have used these songs to help them through their struggles. So jump on it, get a wee follow. But Paul, see, while we're here, can we just do a wee mention about the event we're doing?
Yep. So I'm going to jump into the questions first, and then I'll come back to that because I want to kind of finish up on that if that's okay. So Paul's come in. Paul's basically saying no question, but I just think this is great what you guys are doing. So thanks, Paul. I appreciate the support, mate. Paul's also shared the stream. Again, I appreciate it. Renz is in. No question, but it's been class. Thank yous. No, thank you guys, because see, at the end of the day, me and Peter have conversations, no like this, but me and Peter have lengthy conversations about loads of stuff, as do some of the other boys. But it's the fact that yous are here, yous are in chat and yous are asking questions, yous are here to learn more about Men Matter. So it's not really this. This isn't really happening unless it's for yous guys. So it's no thanks to us, it's thanks to yous. If we're not doing this, we'll be playing Call of Duty. Don's saying if you find it hard to ask a question in here, you can get in touch. That's a good point. So if you don't want to ask a question directly on stream and on the chat, that's totally understandable. Get in touch through the website, through Men Matter Facebook. Everything is in confidence and no pressure. Couldn't have worded that any better myself, Don. Appreciate it, mate. Simon saying, amazing podcasts, make me think a lot about what I might need to do to try and help my community. Simon, fucking love that, mate, honestly.
Yeah, Simon,
absolutely love it.
Love it.
Guys, so the event, so we're going to talk about the event now, right? So we have an event, we kind of touched on it at the start of the podcast. 6th of June, Sunday the 6th of June, which is, I think, a week on Sunday. So basically what we're doing is, we're trying to think of an event to get as many streamers and many people involved as we could, right? And try and publicise both Men Matter and get some funds in if we could, right? So we came up with the idea. We had a formal meeting, proper meeting last week, didn't we? Me, you, and Don. Don was my designated taxi driver there for a night and all. So we had a wee meeting. We thrashed out some ideas, and basically what we came up with was we're going to do a 4-hour time slot between 12 o'clock and 4 o'clock. And what we'll do is all the streamers that are involved. We've got some good names involved. We've got Danger Doug, we've got Scuba Steve, we've got myself, Vital Paul, just in case you don't know who I'm at. So here. We've got Kayla FPS who's going to be doing it on the Saturday because she's unavailable on a Sunday. So what we've done is we're trying to get as many streamers as we can to stream, and their stream title will be Men Matter Scotland Charity Stream. Their pinned comment in the chat will be the link for the PayPal, and we're just trying to... We've been harassing everybody, myself, Peter, Don and Foxy, the other guys in the background, kind of harassing all the big streamers, try to get as big names as we can as possible. I've even been in touch with Kevin Bridges, but he's patched me. He only gets in touch with me when he wants to get a football. So we're harassing everybody to try and get as much people as we can involved in this. It will literally Gary Folds is going to be involved. Gary's only recently started streaming, so he'll be involved in some capacity, whether it's streaming or being in one of the other streamers' games. But he'll be involved and no doubt bring in some laughs. Ren's is saying he can hop in and that. Ren, send me a message, get in touch. Danger Doug will be streaming in the 5th due to work commitments. There we go. It's the same again, guys. I think Mr. PH had messaged me this morning and he said it's something similar where he's got something on in that time and that day, but what he's going to do is he's going to do a dedicated stream on another day and do exactly what we're doing. So this is just the first event. We hopefully can get a wee bit of awareness and a wee bit of funds in for Men Matter, and it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be getting some people on the stream, getting a bit of a laugh, try to raise some money and raise awareness. That's the whole purpose of the other two. This one was more about telling people what Men Matter are doing, what they're all about. The next event will be raising funds and raising awareness. Let me just have a wee quick gander through. Here, he's class. Ren's is saying he's class. I don't know if he means Danger Doug or no. Right, okay. Right, Don's replying to young Callum because Callum's saying he's not get PayPal. He's looking to do it. Right, okay. Wrap me up. Peter, anything you want to add before we kind of say our goodbyes and anything else?
So just when we do the streaming event, please tune in, leave comments, and always share. Again, I shared some from the Scottish Warzone player page, and I got a message from one of the members tonight saying to me he thinks it's came at the right time. That's how important that share is. It's not just to raise the awareness of your profiles or anything like that, it's to reach people who are in a dark place. Let us say, in Scotland in 2019, two men a day took their life. So that's 2 guys a day probably took their life. Who knows, somebody might have done it during this conversation, man, somewhere in Scotland. We need to change that. Again, my wee boy just came in there, and that's why we're doing this, to change the pattern for the future generations. It really is. And knowing, it's like, he's more at risk of suicide than females, just because he's a guy, and the stresses that guys come under. And we don't need to live with that burden ourselves. We can share it. Share the burden, man. Tell people. And you know, sometimes you might not want to tell your mate. Sometimes you want to just tell a stranger, because that judgment is not there. I guarantee it. And that's what you get at Men Matter Scotland. I urge any guy who's watching this to reach out, to contact us. And if any females are watching it, share it and let their male friends know about Men Matter Scotland. Check our website out. It's brilliant. The stories are real. Check our YouTube page out. The stories are... You can hear the audio. You can see the video sometimes as well. Men Matter Scotland it's a small organisation now, but it's getting massive, and you're going to see it up and down the country in the next 5 years, I'm sure of that. But in the meantime, just do your best to do positive things to support your mental health, and this is for the women as well. Do things that you like doing. Don't always prioritise your work or your own things. I tell my missus to do a wee checklist, a to-do list every day, and on that to-do list, have something in it that you want to do for you, maybe going for a walk, or watch a wee programme or something. Prioritise yourself where your work or anything else, because if you're no good, nothing else in your life can be good, because you won't enjoy it because you're not happy. Always put yourself number one. And I mean that even in regards to your kids. I mean that, because if you're not happy, you're not going to have a happy impact on your children. So that's why it's important, and there's nothing selfish about that. That's normal. That's the way the normal should be. Prioritising yourself, and then the ripple effect of that is the people around you are happy because you're happy. It makes sense. When you say it out loud. So stop beating yourself up and being so hard on yourself. Life can be hard sometimes, but when you've got a strong support network there and good people around you, it's a wee bit easier. And that's what I'm going to finish on that, mate.
Cheers, mate. I appreciate that. Just jumping back into the comments quickly. So Renz was talking about Gary. He's delighted that Gary Folds is involved. Gary Folds, just to touch him, Gary Folds was at the actual official opening of Men Matter Hub. He was there. And he loved what the guys were doing. He's wrote, I think he wrote a wee message up on the wall, because there's a message wall with some of the guys can write a message. Gary put a wee message up there, so Gary's been involved in it. Don's put in saying, a bit late with this, but you can set up a standing order a one-off donation, but he's got the sort code and account number for the bank there. Foxy's saying brilliant podcast, appreciate it mate. Don's got the bank details in. Krangle's saying well done, great to listen to. Don saying in addition, it's not all for people feeling strained. If you're feeling great, come down and see what's happening and get involved. Exactly, it's no negative. Do you know what I mean? If you're still feeling brand new, then you can still come down to the hub. You can still get in touch and say, can I help out in some way? So definitely, aye, good point.
I think that's an important point. You don't need to be suffering from mental health issues to come and access the hub. You can be totally brand new living life and just improving on it and come to the hub. Use the gym, use the showers, use the eating, man. It's for guys. It's also for guys to socialise in a positive environment and meet like-minded guys. It's phenomenal. Honestly, it's like a youth club for adults. That's the best way I can describe it. It's actually better than a youth club. Codders adults. It's fantastic. I can't sing his praises enough. It's a great place, man. And I just want to thank everybody that's helped us get here on the journey. For your Tony Crawfords, to your Steve McGoldricks, Tam Elvins, Tam Sweeney's, D.I., Paul, yourself, Don Floyd, Stephen Fox. Just absolute class. Wee Bree as well's on the board, man. Everybody who's helped us get where we are now, including my wife and Gregor's missus. Thank you so much, because again, like I say, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all the support. It's simply wouldn't be. It's a family. 100%. It's an absolute brotherhood, man. A family. So cheers, everybody, and thanks 100%. For tuning in. I really appreciate it. And this is just a wee sign. I done a triathlon with one of the members recently, and he went out his own way and surprised me with this T-shirt of the events on the back. Dale McGuire, absolute legend, man. Top guy.
Dale's been outstanding, and he chins me on Monday and says why was I not involved in the triathlon. So him and Jambo got a hold of me and says you better get involved in the next one. Pete's just saying thanks again for this, helped me so much. Guys, that's the whole point of doing this. Raise awareness, talk about some issues, introduce Peter so that the people who are watching my stream, when I'm shouting Pistol, what the fuck are you doing, they know what he looks like, right? Big handsome bastard. He's got his haircut and everything for this podcast, man. I can't believe that. One last touch before we kind of tie up. Don's saying you can buy merch. You can buy merch. You can get some of the Men Matter merch. And it'll be on the website and on the Facebook for Men Matter Scotland. Check them out and you can buy their merch and help them out in the process of buying the merch. So, two last things for me, guys. One, Pistol, thanks for your time, mate. And I don't just mean your time tonight. I mean your time in general, because getting this organised, getting the event organised has been a lot of time and effort. Don and Foxy as well with the boys, because obviously they've been doing a bit of running about. Don's been harassing everybody and he's been on the ball with the chat tonight in terms of everything that I've missed. So cheers Foxy and Don as well. Guys, cheers for tuning in. The one last thing I'm going to say is this stream will be recorded, so it will still be on the page. So, see if you think anybody can benefit from it, even after the stream's finished. Tag them in the comments, ask them to watch the stream back. It might help them a wee bit. It might help them to find out a wee bit more about Men Matter Scotland. It might make them feel a wee bit more open to talking about some of their issues. So, please, share it with somebody that you know that it might help. Even if they've not openly said it, share it with your network and your people that you think might help. Guys, that's us for the night. Thank you very much. And we'll be back on for the event on the 6th of June between 12 and 4. I'll probably be on the night for some Call of Duty after this, but I'm going to end the stream. I want to start it and end it, so it's just a Men Matter thing. So cheers guys, I appreciate everybody, and let me just jump in here before I end the stream. Somebody's come in with either a share or some...
Thank you.
It's either a share or stars. I'm not sure yet because it's not popped up. But whatever it is, if it's stars, we'll get it organised, get it sent to the guys. If it's a share, thank you. Cheers, troops. Cheers for me. Cheers for Pistol. And catch you later. Cheers.
Right. Thank you, guys. Cheerio.